Okay, and then I'm going to transfer you over to Miss Kane. She works in the Public Affairs Office.
Wonderful.
Yeah, she's handling all of these phone calls today.
Okay, yeah, just when somebody declares an emergency, it, it makes the hair stand up on the back of the head.
Yeah. So let me get that for you. Hold on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
How are you? Is this Miss Kane?
It is.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. I'm glad. I just found out about this declaration about the anthrax worry. I'm not sure exactly how to term it. It looks like a national health emergency is what it's the statement, correct?
Who am I speaking with?
My name's Guy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And are you with a particular media outlet or just a member of the public?
No, I'm a member of the public.
Oh, okay. Well, this is one of the next steps that the Health and Human Services Department has taking into a long series of steps toward national preparedness. It's the legal documentation that we needed to go through to provide postal workers with antibiotics in their home that they could take in case of an anthrax bioterrorism attack. So it's a just in case.
Just in case. But it's a national emergency declaration that says that it's a public health emergency.
Yeah, there were a series of legal documents that the agency needed to sign in order to allow that just-in-case home antibiotics for postal workers, and one of them was this particular declaration. So it doesn't say that there's an anthrax attack imminent or that there's a public health emergency imminent, but that it's one of the pieces of legal documentation that we needed to have in place in order to allow this just-in-case scenario.
It says, whereas significant changes in the nature, regularity, and degree of threats to health posed by the use of anthrax it's a national emergency. This is not just a legal document, it's a declaration of national emergency. So who declared that? I understand it's on the DHS, so Chertoff, is that correct? It says that whereas the Secretary of Homeland Security has determined it's a national threat. So did he declare that?
The public health emergency is declared by the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
I see that.
And the national threat level is declared by the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay, but you're basing this on his assessment, which was from the 2001 attack 7 years ago?
Correct.
And the strain was from Fort Detrick, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know that, but you've declared a national emergency.
Like I said...
So are you saying this is not a national emergency declaration, or it is? It's one or the other. It's not both. I need to know this because we already have a financial emergency declaration.
Right.
Basically, you guys are using emergency powers, but not letting the public know. That's my concern. And I'm not upset at you, please. I'm just a little bit nervous at this.
Right.
Because I see a lot of emergencies being declared nationally without public knowledge. It's very troubling.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Because I'm basically an Air Force fighter pilot, and I understand national threat.
Okay. Well, the threat is the same as it was the day before we declared it, before we made these steps, before we signed that documentation. So the threat level is the same as it has been.
Okay.
Okay.
You're saying the DHS threat level hasn't changed even though you declared a national emergency?
Even though
is that accurate?
We signed a documentation that said that the current threat level that DHS has provided could be considered a public health emergency so that we could provide postal workers with anthrax antibiotics in case they need them. There are some communities that...
Okay, I missed the reference to postal workers. I'll have to look for that.
Yeah, it's for...
It appears more to the entire public.
No, it's just, in this particular case, it's for the postal workers in particular communities who, those communities have worked with the Postal Service in their communities so that postal workers, if there wasn't an anthrax attack in that community, the postal workers could deliver antibiotics to people's homes because they have distribution mechanism already set up. I mean, they come, the same mechanism that you have to deliver your mail, they would use to deliver antibiotics. But for them to be willing to do that, they wanted to be covered themselves, so they had antibiotics in their home ready to go.
Okay.
So that's what it's for.
And it's an expenditure of money to produce larger amounts of this antibiotic, correct?
No, it would use what we have currently in the national stockpile.
Oh, well, this talks about companies making more of it and their immunity, which I don't understand why immunity is written into this. Is that for they're immune from lawsuits if the anthrax vaccination is dangerous?
If someone were to have an allergic reaction to it, then they couldn't go back to that company.
So they're immune from any lawsuits resulting from this. So I would assume that this is not going to be used as an inoculation for the population, that they don't have a choice to decline. Is that correct?
They could. Oh, no, they could.
Okay, well, there seems to be quite an issue with that, and inoculations seem to be more and more required because there are people in jail right now that didn't want their kids to get inoculations. So I just wanted to make sure that that's not the case with you guys.
No, and in fact, this is not a vaccine. It's an antibiotic.
Yeah, against anthrax, which was created at Fort Detrick, correct? You don't know where it's created, of course. Right. They wouldn't tell you that.
Right.
Okay. Well, all the evidence from the anthrax attacks of 2001 point to Fort Detrick, and that's been pretty much addressed by the FBI. So I would think that should go in your report when you're declaring a national emergency, but that's my own personal opinion. So I'm just trying to get a little more information and see. So we know who declared it. Do we know what DHS information this is based on? When is it just one of Chertoff's gut feels?
Don't know.
Because this is getting very expensive when he has a gut feeling.
It
is, huh? There's going to be some money expended on this, it appears.
I don't know what new...
Okay. Did Congress then appropriate money for this expenditure? Or is the emergency power override to Congress's ability to control the purse here?
Yeah, it's not a new expenditure, though. It was existing funds. So we buy, with congressionally appropriated funds, we buy these kind of antibiotics all the time.
Okay.
And so it's using what we have in stock.
Okay. I missed the expenditure amount on this. Can you give me a guesstimate of what that is?
There's no expenditure for it.
There's none whatsoever?
It's using what we have in the stockpile, using funds that were already appropriated, so there's nothing new.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that covers most of what I needed.
Great.
If there is a national emergency declared, I think the public should know about it, though.
Absolutely.
And it's on page, in the Federal Register, it's on page 58,239 through 58,242. It took a while to get to it, but we found it.
Okay.
So thank you for your information.
You're welcome.